have had a crazy week once again.
Yeah, more of the same, that's for sure.
Record-breaking.
Welcome to Real Estate Exposed.
Versus what $500,000 is going to get you here in Charlotte County.
All things real estate in the Charlotte and Sarasota County markets.
Yes, sir. At that point, I'll have to actually put pants on and not shorts.
We got Matt Patterson and Scott Newcomb on the other end of this connection.
It's so crucial to have, the correct marketing so your home stands out. Today we've got a really special show.
Yes.
A couple of special guests to talk about some important things going on in the community. So, just to give everybody the answer to the question I get all the time is, has things, change inventory-wise? Absolutely not. We're still very low on inventory. 118 new listings in the market last week, and 258 homes coming off the market under contract.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Again, amazing numbers like we spoke about last week when we look at the fact, again, this week, 118 new listings, but 258 new contracts. So as we continue to see those numbers dwindle, we don't have much of a change in that inventory. It has not turned its head yet.
Okay.
The other thing is rental. If you're listening and you're considering renting your home, whether seasonal, annually, definitely there is a very high demand for that. We would love to help facilitate that for you. Thinking of selling, absolutely. Again, it is the time.
And if you are renting, incidentally, and are thinking that you might want to jump into the housing market, that's not a bad idea, not a bad thought to have. You can certainly help folks who are currently renting sleep in their own bank, as I like to say.
That's exactly right. And, we've touched on it, and this is happening around the country, but we've touched on it on this show. We've touched on it on Zoom calls. There's a fear, if you will, and the same concern we're getting from a lot of people of, I don't want to be homeless. I don't want to put my home on yet. It's going to, you guys are going to sell it fast, and I'm not going to have any place to go. But at the same point, I need to sell my home, and I don't want to own two.
Right.
Yeah, they're caught. So I'm really excited to say next week we're gonna roll out the details of it. But we've been working on a solution for this that we are actually going to be able to help you in regards to getting your home purchased, you being able to stay in that home, have that cash to go buy another home.
That's right.
And all the things you just said about selling the home fast and having two homes at the same time, while technically might be true, those aren't bad things, by the way, as long as you've got the right team behind you to guide you through the process.
That's exactly right. And as we always say, we want to be solution-based. So that concern and that problem kept coming up. So as a team, we are going to fix that and take that worry away.
Gotcha. Anything else about the real estate market you want to get in before we start our special subject of the day?
I would be remiss if I did not ask you if you have a need to buy or sell, Todd. I would love to sell you a home.
Talk about putting on the spot. Actually, it's something that is in consideration. And in the next maybe 6 months or so, I will be contacting you on that very subject.
Love it. Love it.
Nobody else I would contact. Let's put it that way.
Thank you,
appreciate that. That's wonderful.
Well, it's confidence. It's confidence. I mean, I not only speak about you, but I know you personally, and I know your success record. I mean, it's confidence.
Well, thank you. We really appreciate that.
Sure. Sure.
Work very hard to maintain that. You had asked if we're going to talk if there's anything else real estate. Absolutely. We've got our favorite top picks. Again, as things are moving quick, the ones we're going to be announcing today are not available yet. We are going to cover that in the last segment of the show. And I tell you, if you're, every time we have a home that is a double lot or triple lot, especially with an extra building, we get a large amount of interest in it. And today I've got 3 properties with multiple lots, and 2 of them with one with acreage and 2 of them with extra buildings.
And I should point out, too, that when it comes to the top picks, typically, like you just said, you're hearing ones that haven't been listed publicly anywhere else. So realistically, listening to this radio show will get you those listings the absolute fastest.
Yeah, we can get you in these homes before they even hit the market.
That's terrific.
Just like this, one of these is 5-acre horse property.
Oh, good.
That is cross-fenced, ready to go. So I know that one people are going to want to see quickly.
And that we typically have at the tail end of the program. So everybody stay tuned. Let me give some contact info before we get into anything else, too, because you just mentioned, hey, Todd, you want to buy or sell a house? Anybody who might be in that situation, feel free to call 941-621-8600. That's 621-8600. And you can also find out more at realestateexposed.com.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, let's get it. I am really excited about this. How about you, Scott?
Yeah, and we've talked about, we know how busy the real estate market has been, and we've really, a lot of agents in the area have enjoyed great successes, but there's a component that we want to bring up, and that's what Keller Williams as a whole does to give back. And what we all should be doing and looking to do to give back. And Keller Williams as a whole is a wonderful corporation to be a part of, but they're also a wonderful corporation for the community. And they've got a couple programs in place. We're going to go into detail on one of those after this first radio break. But I just want to put out there that Keller Williams overall internationally has got about 180,000 agents. That's a pretty big impact. They've got a foundation called Keller Williams Cares, or KW Cares, which has raised over $48 million to help the associates that are a part of the team and communities in the area of where places get affected by hurricanes, wildfires, this pandemic. Keller Williams is really one of the first companies to step up and say, hey, we're here. Let's roll the trucks in and give some help. And it's just a pleasure to be a part of it. Well,
yeah. And Todd, Gary Keller set the vision for this. And quite honestly, when we were looking where we, which company we wanted to call home, this was a big part of it. The foundation of Keller Williams is God family business, and they've stayed true to that no matter what. I know when Irma hit, Hurricane Irma, KW trucks were some of the first to roll into town.
Right.
They had them prepped, staged, packed, ready to go to help. They do the same thing whether in Bahamas, that tragedy. Well, then
wildfires out west.
So then they've taken it a step further and made it in our local offices, and to where we also have another version of that helps the agents in our hometown in that office. So it's been incredible. So the young ladies that we're having on today, this year they are in charge of this, and they have picked a near and dear organization that they want to introduce and tell you what they're doing with it.
Yeah.
Now, Scott also mentioned Red Day.
Right.
That's where this comes from, and they'll go in detail on it. But one day out of the year, all of the Keller Williams offices across the country give back to the community. So that's where this is going to kick off, but we're going to keep this thing going for years. So
that's wonderful.
So
this is kind of interesting. We're going to have a couple of special guests on the show today to explain more about this. It's a company-wide effort, obviously, with $48 million having been raised so far. That takes a lot of people putting in a lot of hard work, and I'm sure we're going to find out about that here in just a moment as we continue our conversation today on Real Estate Exposed here at WCCF. Red Day 2021 with Keller Williams. Let's go back to Matt and Scott and find out more about Red Day.
Yeah, we are excited. We've got Megan Armstrong and Sarah DeRosiers here. They are members of Keller Williams Peace River Partners and heading up Red Day this year for our local brokerage. They've got some exciting information to bring to you. They're going to give you information on what Red Day is and what it means to the community, because it's so vital to our community. And also, they're going to give you details on what we're raising money for this year, a very worthwhile cause that we're excited to learn more about. So, Sarah, Megan, welcome so much.
Yeah, that's an amazing organization. So,
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. Yes, we're so excited to be here. Thank you so much. And so, Red Day, just to kind of give everybody a little bit of a backstory. So Keller Williams nationwide, and I think it's international now, we celebrate what's called Red Day, and it's to commemorate Mo Anderson, who pretty much has created the culture that's within Keller Williams. And that's why I think all of us at this table are with Keller Williams, is because of the culture.
That's exactly right.
Yep. And so it's really important for all of us. And what culture means to us is, doing the right thing, having integrity, and just being good people and giving back to the community in which we live in. So that's what Red Day is. So the second Thursday of every May, every single office nationwide for Keller Williams will shut down, and then each office will decide how they're going to give back into the community in which they live in. And so past Red Days that we've done, just to kind of give you an idea, one year we did the Veterans Village. We all came together as a brokerage and did all the landscaping for the Veterans Village, which was so awesome.
That, yeah,
that was fun. And then we also
pre-COVID.
Yeah, pre-COVID. Yeah, this is all pre-COVID. And then we also did painting for the Cooper Street Rec Center, which was really awesome. And then 2019, we actually did some beautification for the Homeless Coalition, which was really cool. And this year, because of COVID, we have to be a little more creative. And so we've chosen Valerie's House, which Megan will talk about a little bit more in detail. And we're going to be doing a peer fundraiser for them and just giving back to them to help them do what they do. So yeah, Red Day is very important for Keller Williams, and we're all really, really excited for it this year.
We are, absolutely.
And so,
I'm just thinking back, because I remember the last one that we were able to be a part of was when we worked with the Homeless Coalition, but it's such an overwhelming feeling to see a group. I mean, what are we now, 180 some agents, I think, just at our local office, and to see all those agents and their family members turn out to give back to the community. It's a beautiful thing. And we all know, all of us sitting here, everyone listening understands how much the pandemic has affected us, but these organizations still need our help.
Absolutely.
Now more than ever.
Yep, more than
so
ever.
The fact that we can continue to do this, albeit a little revised and a little more creative, like you said, it's an exciting thing to be a part of.
Oh, for sure. And, and that's why I think, like I mentioned before, most of us are here is because of that culture, and giving back to the community which we work in is, I know for me, paramount. Being able to give back to this community is huge. And so I know I always get really excited for Red Day because, some people, we all get busy, but it's great to have one dedicated day a year to just give your all and show this community how much we love them. It's not just selling houses.
Yeah, Todd and I have talked, right, Todd? I mean, the need for many organizations has been there way before COVID.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I know you guys with the station have done amazing things, and so tell me about Valerie's House, Sarah. I mean, give us the skinny on it.
Well, I love Valerie's House, and Megan and I actually met through Valerie's House.
We did.
That's how we first connected and became friends. But Valerie's House is the first and only organization in Southwest Florida that's dedicated to help children and families of Southwest Florida handle their grief. So basically, 1 in 8 children will lose a parent or sibling before they turn 25.
Wow.
And there's over.
That seems amazing.
It's wild. It's daunting. And there's over 4,000 children right now in Charlotte County that have lost a parent or a sibling. And as we know, with COVID, those numbers are probably increased. We haven't got the new numbers yet. And also, a lot of these children, families haven't been able to have that closure of a funeral because of COVID and things like that. Right. So the complexity of their grief is just compounded. And so what Valerie's House does, it offers free programs for children. They have a center in Punta Gorda and also Fort Myers and also Collier County, Naples, and it's free. 100% free to all of these children and their families, and we do arts and crafts and basically give them tools to handle the waves of grief, because what we've learned is grief isn't a 5-step thing and then you're done with it. You live with it the rest of your life.
And they're around their peers as well,
so they don't feel alone.
As opposed to being around someone where they're saying, you don't understand what I'm going through, this is something you couldn't fathom. So that's really important as well.
It is.
And I think in my experience, a third party,
exactly,
that neutral.
That's right. It is very powerful.
It really is. And I think being an adult child of loss, I know when my mom died, my sister and I felt so alone. Like nobody could understand, like you said. And so being around other people that have experienced it and understand is very, very powerful for them.
Right.
It makes you feel, oh my gosh, I'm not alone. I can get through this. And it's just fantastic, because I know their vision for Valerie's House is that no child will grieve alone. And that's all they want, is to make sure no child feels like they're all by themselves.
And a child grieving as well as having to go back to school after something like that happens, and your friends don't know what to say to you.
Yep.
The connection isn't there as much as it was before. And even if it is, your child really doesn't feel like they have that connection anymore, because people are asking them, what's wrong? What happened? And, it's just not a subject at that age that anyone wants to speak about. So that's even more of a reason why we want to support this program.
Mm-hmm. How did you guys come up with Valerie's House for this year's Red Day?
Well, I sit on the culture committee for the for ALC within Keller Williams, and I have done a lot of work with Valerie's House. And while taking that on, I felt that this year I wanted to continue to work with them. So I just figured it would be a great way to kind of bring two of the best of both worlds to help them out. So
and it seems, tragedy anytime a child loses a parent or a sibling, but in particular, given the loss this country has faced this year,
exactly.
we have to imagine that there's going to be more people affected than, I don't know, the norm maybe. I don't know if that's the right way to say it.
There has to be a larger demand.
Yeah, there has to be. So you would see the demand being more. So, I'm sitting here thinking, and I know that this show is reaching more than just Keller Williams agents. So how does the public get involved? How can the public help? What can they do? Where can you program them in so they can become a part of this fundraiser?
Well, for this fundraiser in particular, we had asked Valerie's House to create a specialized link just for Red Day so that they could track everything that we were collecting. So we do have, and Matt has been so gracious to add it to the realestateexposed.com. So that specialized link is on that website. And then we do have within our own Keller Williams website as well. And then we are also having, on the day of Red Day, we're going to, make it to the general public. But I think we'll talk about that in the next segment. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Very good.
And we're also going to be, just so everybody's on the same page, we're going to be adding that link to our radio station websites and our personal blog pages on the websites and so forth, because we do want to get the word out that way as well.
Thank you so much.
We love you, Todd.
No. But we are, it's so interesting. Somebody just said something about in the next segment, because we certainly are up against the clock and ready to take our next time out. And when we do and come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about Red Day, Valerie's House, the good work they do, because this is something I've never even heard of or thought of before. It deserves the chance to be heard. Donations to be made, volunteers. Let's talk about that as well. I'm sure they're always necessary at Valerie's House. We'll be right back with more Real Estate Exposed on News Radio WCCF. That I heard the statistic before that 1 in 8 children will face this kind of loss in Southwest Florida. And somehow it seems like it's more than that when it's something that hits close to home. When I was 10 years old, I lost my younger sister. And I can remember very much some of the things that you're talking about. I remember very vividly the school very generously planting a memorial tree in her honor, and there was a little ceremony. And I remember I was standing next to her, all eyes on me, hoping they weren't going to ask me to say something, and just wanting to get back to being a normal 10-year-old. And it just seemed like it almost was never going to happen. So I get it, and I can see the value of Valerie's House.
Absolutely. Well, Todd, and it's funny you say that, because you're 1,000% right. And that how you felt at that time is 100% normal and what most kids face. So they go on their whole life, during the day, putting on that mask that they're fine, everything's cool. But Valerie's House is that safe place where they can feel their feelings, talk about it, and not be judged, and they don't feel like they're making other people uncomfortable by sharing their grief, etc. So that's why Valerie's House is so important. You have to have that outlet.
Absolutely.
Yeah, as we know, yes, it's 100% normal, but a child, it certainly doesn't understand that or feel that.
They don't feel that at all. No.
Well, we know as kids in particular, one of the toughest things is fitting in.
Right.
Especially feeling like you're a part of the crowd, and what better operation than something where you can be, even though the circumstances are. Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah, exactly. I'm still working on that.
I mean, the circumstances are tragic, but at least they're able to gather with people and kids that are like them. They've suffered the same things. They can cope in the same ways. They can learn the proper skills to cope, because it's not something you grow out of. I have to imagine you carry that with you for life.
Forever.
And it's a difficult thing to grieve. So
it is.
Okay, so I want to put out there, Todd, one, because, I know some get asked all the time for or help or finance. There is several ways that you can help here.
Yeah,
that's good.
We're not on here just asking for money. We're not.
Right.
There's a lot of need in time and volunteers. What does that look like, Sarah?
So we always need volunteers, and Valerie's House also has what's called Val's Pals, which is a mentoring program. So if you can't volunteer to be a group member, which it's twice a month, the first and third Monday of every month, and groups for Punta Gorda are held at First United Methodist Church, where they're so gracious to let us use their space. If you want to volunteer to be a group leader or a group facilitator, there's training involved, so you aren't thrown to the wolves, I promise. And then also, if you are thinking about doing a mentoring program, kind of like Big Brother, Big Sister, in a way. So very, very effective. So if you're interested in that, visit the Valerie's House website, which is www.valerieshouseswfl.org, and you'll see the link there for volunteering, and then that will connect you with the right people to get you started. But very easy process, very rewarding.
Yeah, and if you're driving down the road right now, again, you can find this on our site. You can also call the 621-8600. We will get you in touch with Megan or Sarah. So do not, worry about that if you're driving down the road.
So I have a question, and maybe it's a silly question, but we keep saying Valerie's House. So is there a house, and where are the houses?
There are actually right now, so the headquarters is in Fort Myers.
Okay.
They have a home down there. It's very beautiful. They do tours all the time, and I think they're actually having an open house on April 10th. I'll confirm that before the show's over and mention it.
And we will be going down there as well
on the 30th.
On the 30th. So that we'll be presenting that video to you as well.
Yep, which will be really cool. So that's our headquarters, and then there's another one in Naples. Our dream is to have our own house in Punta Gorda for our Charlotte County kids.
Love it.
Which is great, right? So we just started the Charlotte County chapter in 2019. So we're very new up here, but that is our goal, to have a place, a home for kids to go. And that's what we're looking for.
And I'll say, so 2019 was a big year for us and our family. So we're talking about children, but it does affect older, young adults as well. So Sarah can relate to this as well. So my daughter was 19, and her father, he actually took his own life. So been really difficult, but she was kind of thrown into, I'm 19 years old, and I'm supposed to be an adult, but yet I don't know how to handle this, and my coworkers, and it was just you're expected to handle it and grieve in a different way, which I don't think exists.
No.
So she was put into the young adult group. First of all, let me backtrack and say that there really isn't much for help for kids that age in Charlotte County. So this was such a blessing to find.
Well, that's why I said, wow. When she said 2019, I'm thinking, I know. It's a shame nothing was here before that.
There was nothing.
See, again, we get so busy in our lives. Sadly, it's not something that I thought about.
Well,
until it happens, you don't, because why would you? Know? And so she's gone from being in the group to now she does a lot of the podcast with Valerie's House, and she's actually going to be there as well on the 13th to speak about what Valerie's House has done for her. And just quickly, I will tell you that Valerie's House isn't just about needing money for donations for the programs itself. They have so many programs to help with legal fees, with funerals, because, when you're in that state, if you don't have life insurance for the other person, you're going right back to work and you don't have the money. So her goal was to, on her own, this is what she wanted to do, was to have a plot for herself, for her dad, that she could go and visit him. So the Valerie's House actually donated $2,000 for her to do that. And it was no questions asked at all. Just a check. Here you go. So, there are so many different aspects of this foundation. It is wonderful.
I don't know about Utah, but I'm like, wow, I didn't think of that either.
Right.
But
yeah.
I can't imagine, not having the money to have a plot, a burial.
Well, a lot of times it's the breadwinner that passes.
Right.
I think it's interesting to note, too, that as adults, unfortunately, if we find ourselves in a similar position. There are lots of ways to reach out for our help with our grief groups and counselors and church groups and so forth. Never thought about the kids.
No,
Right.
they're almost like the forgotten demographic in a way, because I think a lot of kids, they, like you said, you just want to be normal, and so they act completely fine. I mean, kids are resilient, but they're not immune to these feelings. And early intervention, without early intervention, unmanaged grief will manifest itself in very bad ways. We're talking, incarceration, alcohol, drug abuse, just bad life choices, because that's manifested in a terrible way. So that's another really big reason why Valerie's House exists, because
And it's needed in this county. I mean, we were going into support groups where everyone was 70 plus, having lost a spouse or a sibling in their 70s, and it just wasn't doing anything for her.
She couldn't relate.
There was no connection.
Right.
Right.
Okay. So we've got a goal of a house, which I know you young ladies will make happen. You told me the other day about another goal, and it's a big one. Put it out there, because once it's out there, it's out there.
In the
and we have to
universe.
do it.
Universe. Yes.
So what is this goal?
So for Red Day, we had a goal to raise $50,000 for Valerie's House. So even if we don't get there on the 13th, we will get there. So
I know you will.
We will. We will. So on the actual day, I will just quickly tell you, we are going to be having, we're going to open it to the public now, and we are going to have some big ticket items that we're going to be auctioning off. We're hoping to get
Ooh, I love auctions.
We're hoping to get one of our agents is an auctioneer. So if you're listening, I'll call you after this.
FYI.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right. I love that. What else?
Well, we do have the specialized link, so we have that for donations. And I think throughout the year we're going to try to do a 5K. We're going to try. We're going to come up with ideas, and we're going to raise money. We're going to get the word out. We're going to do it. It's going to happen.
And that's really what we're doing here today, Todd. And
Yes.
we think is trying to get the word out.
Yep.
Because I know there's many things that I heard people say later. Oh, I would have loved to have helped with
Had
that.
I known.
Yes.
Right?
No,
I know.
that's right.
Right.
So we're not on, if you want to go to the link, you want to donate now, fantastic. But more than anything, it's just getting it out there.
Yes.
Right.
Your time, whatever, however you want to give, would be so appreciated.
Right.
Well-
Absolutely.
So we do have a flyer that we had sent out to some of our local vendors. And we do have a platinum sponsorship. And obviously the Patterson Group has been so kind to donate Suncoast One Title and Closing, Burnt Store Title, and Sarah Picard from Modern Woodman. If anyone
Very nice.
out there would like to donate, my phone number, and I'll just say it on air, is 941-276-2928. And I would be happy to give any information about the program, the sponsorships, anything that you need.
Yeah, and just that number one more time.
941-276-2928.
Got it. I was jotting it down myself. I'm glad that you gave it twice. Also, let's look at the other side of the coin. I mean, yes, obviously, we want to do as much as we can to help Valerie's House, but if there's a parent listening to this broadcast who unfortunately finds themselves and their child in a similar situation, how do they reach out for help?
Definitely go to the website, the Valerie's House website, which is, again, www.valerieshouseswfl.org. And definitely you can connect through there. And let me just give you the number really quickly for our Charlotte County coordinator. Her name is Christine Carey, and she's absolutely fantastic. And here we go. Ooh, I'm quicker than I thought with this phone. They teach you that in real estate school.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and her number is area code 941-457-5613.
Okay, and this is who again?
This is Christine Carey. She's the Charlotte County coordinator for Valerie's House.
Okay, good.
So if there's any families that need help, please reach out.
And they will be there on the 13th.
Yes.
Angela and Christine.
Yep. Angela is the founder and CEO of Valerie's House. She lost her mother at 10. Her mother was Valerie, and so that's why.
Oh, now it clicks. I've been wondering.
Yeah, right. Now, why are we...
Hey, Todd.
Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go
Todd,
ahead.
I know we're bumping the clock. We can roll into the next segment and pick up there.
All right, that sounds good. Let's.
Matt's producing, yeah.
Well, no, I just mean we had our top picks, so I know we want to get those to folks. They
And
can
this
get
is
them on our
such
website.
an important topic.
So,
we don't want to cut it short.
That's right.
Aw.
Yeah.
That's right.
Guys.
So I'll tell you what, let's do. Let's go ahead and let me ask this question, because I did have this on the top of my mind before I forget about it anyway. And I'm sure I know the answer, but one thing I've learned in a couple of years in radio is never assume that everybody knows, what you think they know. So for the people who receive, the kids who receive services and the parents from Valerie's house, is there a charge?
No, absolutely not. It's 100% free through the generosity of the individuals and businesses of our community. We're able to offer this for free. And also, I need to mention, too, that not just the kids have group, those for first and third Monday, but also their caregivers, because a lot of times the caregivers that are there don't know what to do.
Right.
And so it's a nice group. It's the whole family. We're teaching the whole family to grieve together.
Right.
And
it
very
doesn't matter
powerful.
how they pass. And I think that's why I like to get my story out a lot, because at a young age, along with suicide is such a stigma, but there's nothing that anyone in the family did to cause that.
Right.
So when the mom or the kids or that's one thing that I've learned in this very short time, and going to other suicide grief groups that are just hardcore. Mm-hmm. It's very, very, it takes a toll on you. So in this kind of a group where you can talk about it, but it doesn't have to be all about that, it just makes such a difference.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of that, again, it's something I can sort of relate to, but sort of not, because when you're talking suicide, I imagine that kids feel a certain level of unnecessary. I want to emphasize that guilt, thinking, what did I do? But I can remember that even in my circumstances, because, and again, I was 10 years old, but I remember my sister, being siblings, we fought like cats and dogs all the time. And I remember feeling some profound guilt, thinking, I wonder if I caused this somehow.
And you're not alone. You're not alone. Actually, it's interesting.
It's the why I wasn't enough syndrome, I call it. Why wasn't I enough? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When we do groups and the activities, it's funny because all of the children, when they have to describe their feelings, all of them have guilt as the denominator. They all feel that way, no matter how they've passed. They're a special person. So it's very important to tackle that feeling, because it's nobody's fault, like you said.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Well, Matt, you want to get any last minute information out? We'll take our final time out, come back with our top picks.
Yeah, I just think it'd be great to go ahead and give that number again of how they can get a hold of you ladies for more information.
Sure. So my Megan Armstrong, my number is 941-276-2928. And the Christine Carey's number, I have to have you do this again.
Yep, no problem. That's 941. Hold on. I already logged out of it. Well, let's do the website for Valerie's House is www.valerieshouseswfl.org. And if you would like to find the donation link for our Red Day fundraiser, it's realestateexposed.com. And to connect with Christine, if you would like more information about groups, her number is area code 941-457-5613.
Perfect.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Both.
Yes.
I
really
appreciate
the
this.
information and the work you're doing. Thank you so much for
thank you.
leading the charge
Yes.
on this.
On behalf of the community, thank you very, very much. Let's go ahead and take our last time out. When we come back, we'll get into the top picks of the week. This is a fun segment for almost everybody concerned. So we'll be right back with more Real Estate Exposed on News Radio WCCF.
All right, so I know we're short on time.
Yes.
So we'll go through them quickly. As always, you can reach out to us. You can go to the site and contact us. You will not see these homes on the site quite yet. It will be a few days, except
I got
for
one.
Yeah,
Sorry to interrupt. I do have one, and I just want to put some attention back on this one. It's 20363 Lorette Avenue, Port Charlotte 33954. It's a beautiful 2,900 square foot home, 5 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, sitting on a half acre if you want that extra size, listed at $415,000. We've had it about a week now, had a tremendous amount of interest, but haven't got it under contract yet.
Well, and let me say, it's a double lot, and that lot has a separate PID or partial identification number to where if you had a relative that wanted to build on it, it is buildable.
That's good to know. Yeah. I didn't get that. I didn't understand that from the last time we discussed that property. That's excellent to know.
That's right. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so I'm rolling into acreage. As you know, I love acreage. From Indiana, big fan. This is a horse property in the Ranchettes, 5 acres, already cross-fenced, has a 5-stall horse barn plus a tack room with an outside wash bay. It is going on the market at $500,000. Definitely a rare find, as I've just done a bunch of fencing of my own to have one that is ready to go, open the gate, put the horses in. It is a fantastic find.
That does sound incredible and turnkey.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Ready to go. I've got one coming up in Gulf Cove we're really excited about now. Won't have it available this week, but it will be on the market next week. So if you're interested, call me now. Incredible water access. This is a 1996 home, about 2,700 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, 2-car garage, got the private pool, 80 feet of water frontage. Really cute, adorable home that's going to go on the market, and it will go quick. We've got photos coming, getting put together for some updated photos, but even some of the older photos on the file are just, it's finished to the nines. So don't miss out on this. 5242 Neville Terrace, Port Charlotte, 33981. Call us, 941-621-8600, and we can give you some more information on that because, like I said, not on the MLS for at least another week.
And so this is what we were talking about earlier in the program. You'll hear listings here literally before anybody else gets a shot at them. It's really important to keep that in mind in today's real estate market.
Right. Okay, I've got 2 more, Todd, and the reason why I'm so excited about these are newer homes. This one is a 2016, and they are getting transferred, moving back north. Feels like a brand new home. It has 3 lots. So that's right. And this gentleman has a landscape company. So the lot next to it is already set up, has shell on it to park equipment if you wanted, or it is a buildable lot as well. Also, it has the lot behind it. It is going on the market at $300,000 for the home and the extra lot. And if you want that 3rd lot behind it, that will be listed at $9,900.
And what's the address on that one?
That one is 6208 Pringle Street.
Pringle Street. Gotcha. Okay.
All right. Now, this last one, I'm not going to give an address out of respect for the owners. They have not to yet. The reason why I'm mentioning it, though, because it is a very rare find. It is a 2019 home. It has a pool that literally just got the certificate of occupancy a month ago, or the closed permit. So a brand new pool. Additional lot with a 24 by 32 foot metal building with 2 overhead doors for your toys. Yeah, it is absolutely stunning. It is in Northport. We will have an address that we'll put out next week, but I just wanted to mention it because it is such a rare find. It's going on the market at $500,000.
But even if we're not giving out the address today, that doesn't mean we couldn't call and you could get more information on that.
We can show the property. They
right.
It's time not to put
Understood. Any more, gentlemen? We've got about another minute and a half left.
I've got one, and this one has been available, but $100,000. I've got a condo for $100,000, and we know in a market like this. I mean, Matt and I just went through a list of properties starting at $300, going up to $600.
Right.
I've got a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom condo. Punta Gorda.
That one's a ground floor, too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ground floor unit. This is listed for $100,000. Just had it on the market a few days. Have had several inquiries. We've not been able to come together to make it work yet. But I'm talking to the people out there that are in that rental position and not sure if they can afford to buy a home. Call us.
Yeah, absolutely.
$100,000 mortgage, the majority of the time, is going to be much less than what you guys are paying.
Oh, yeah. And as somebody who has got a very shaggy lawn that needs attention this afternoon, condo living seems very attractive a lot of the time.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Instead of mowing the yard, you're going to throw the towel over your shoulder or walk out across about 50 feet across from the front door of this one and jump in the swimming pool.
It's on Rampart. It's in Deep Creek. You're minutes from so many amenities, minutes from I-75. I mean, this one really is ideal.
All right. Got time to squeeze one more in, gentlemen.
One more?
Yes.
All right. Now we're going back to Northport on Salford, 2823 South Salford. This home, 3-bedroom, 2-bath pool home, built in 2009 built in 2004, going on the market at $349,900.
All right. That's Whirlwind tour of just some of the properties in the area that everybody who's listening to this radio program is getting a sneak peek at. Others won't get to see in some cases for maybe a week or so, right?
That's right. Yeah, minimal. We've got stuff that's coming up this week and next week and then the week after, all of which we've mentioned. So you definitely need to give us a call so we can get you information on that stuff.
Yeah, because most of them, they're selling in 2, 3, 4, 5 days.
Sometimes you get offers in hours.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
All right, so let's give that phone number out again, please.
941-621-8600.
Or you can find us on the realestateexposed.com. Any questions you need can be posted there as well.
That's what I was just going to ask. Matthew Patterson, Scott Newcomb, thank you again for being part of this Real Estate Exposed radio show. Hope you have yourself a great week, and everybody else will be back next Wednesday on WCCF.